For news, views, and entertainment, stay tuned to Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1, simply the best.
Radio Democracy, the true voice of the people.
Radio Democracy, supported by Asiwa and powered by Africell.
Studios, good morning and welcome to another edition of the program Good Morning Salone for this week, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Today na Thursday, November 7th, 2019. We will bring the program come to you this Thursday morning. Mina Khadija Bangura.
And Mina Mabel Kaba, good morning. Inside this edition of the program Good Morning Salone, the leader and chairman for the National Grand Coalition, Dr. Dennis Bright, say one research wey dem do na different parts of Freetown show say from March 2018 to October this year, the price for rice and other things for it go up as Mark 1 past how we been dey. According to the Commissioner for Insurance, na the Sierra Leone Insurance Commission, Arthur Yaski, the commission go find any driver or bike rider wey dem go catch with fake insurance sticker na the motorcar, bike or keke. And today inside the program, Radio Democracy will look inside the Development Cooperation Framework, where governments they develop now for the money to civil society and NGO them work.
Well, this and plenty other story them, then at the program for you this Thursday morning, plus Walkabout Safe Day inside the program. Remember, say they listen to we live on www.radiodemocracy.sl, courtesy of Osiwa and powered by Africell. The program na Good Morning Salone. You can send we message on 077 981 981. Or if they watch we through we Facebook broadcast, you can send also drop your comments at the comment section, ask your question, talk about the issues them where we they can discuss inside the program this morning.
The first issue we look at in the program this morning, now also the executive director for Dagva Charity Foundation, Mariatu Sidi Kamara, say the over $1 million Islam Park project where then they develop now na Lunge, now for April's fund for support poor people them. It took this inside one interview where then they launch this park project inside Freetown. Also then call on salon people for invest or donate to the project. Mariatu Sidi Kamara talk more about this to Musa S. Kamara.
This park come as a result of we did see the plenty strains where Muslims and they go through, especially where they come to events planning, like we think you want for do either ceremony, it can be married or any other program. We can see so we don't get plenty challenge with we come to follow, we get hall where we say we're able to do purely Islamic programs on. And also, we don't get plenty recreational centers where we cater for only we. So we see them in a two way. We see them one, follow help the Muslim community. So we say go get sideway, we go sit down for relax, so go be more halal. Where you go, you don't see anything when a bad thing we go end up for make you go for go enjoy, then you end up for get sin. Also couples then go take them family because in the Muslim homes, it hardly follow you see man and woman they come out because most times when you come out, you go end up for camp now you host with bad thoughts or at the end of the day you don't even enjoy anything because the music, the environment and everything no go be that much religious for able for man you religious tenet. So that now one. And also we see them as a wave of investment for the foundation because we know say if we establish this National Islamic Park, that time they will go able to get a lot of revenue from them because if we don't able to establish them with different things that we will get for putting inside in terms of resort, in terms of mall, in terms of resource center, we know say anybody will go for go access them facilities there. So inside this park, we know so we go able for ask them for minimal amount where they go able for pay. We go that revenue they go get back to the foundation and the foundation go able for use that revenue day for able for solve most of the problems them way we don't undertake in terms of helping the widows, the orphans, the poor and the needy because we know go they ask all the time donors because whatever may happen the donor go tire one find it.
What's the name you can likely describe to this park?
Well, the park we give National Islamic Park because no one for let it be specific for the Dagva Park. park because we want for let it be owned by every person within a salon. Everybody feel belong for say this park now we get am.
National Islamic Park, is it that going to be used only by the Muslims or other religions self can use them?
I go say the only thing we not go say it be restricted by Muslims, but you go man your way like how you dey dress before you enter inside the park. Because the park, even though because really now the Muslims that we dey cater for, because most of the time now we can lack, and most of the things that we don't highlight now we more go need them. But if you come in other religion, you go just get for mind you are you dey enter for, you are you dey dress for enter the park.
Who say this park get for the and how far these projects don't go?
Well, the park, alhamdulillah, na the chief we dey na Kafubulom. Chief Bearer the third na in donate this land to we as a foundation. We na 5 acre, and this particular donation he do am for the sake of Allah in a free will, because he want to contribute to national development, and also he believe in the vision of the foundation. And this park we just start am. Of course, we just get an empty ground for now. We not get anything yet. I make we launch the project, because when we don't launch the project, so we want for begin see how we go able for institute all them things that we hear don't calls to. And this is not a long-term plan, because we no go say we don't in the next 2 years or 3 years, because we get a lot of things for today. But for a start, we'll go where we don't begin see how much funds we don't get from the launching and all other fundraising ideas that we get for put together. We get to ensure say we start bit by bit till we reach to the level, and we don't get few hands, we don't give donation towards the project, and with goodwill promise for say this not to it, not this is just not for say this not just the end, because we know say this project now an ongoing project. So based on the launching, we don't begin vision a success, because with all them promises and all the time where some of the people and take for good, we believe say together with we all we can able make this dream a reality.
Most money we dey talk about now.
From what we don't look for now, we think say that in a over $1 million project.
Waiting that they expect from the public, is it partnership or donation?
Well, I go say both, because for the donation, of course, we don't target say every Sierra Leonean, whatever come may, let you donate 20,000 leones to this project. Then, in terms of partnership, because we know we expect, because some person he go be a partner, but he also get link. And that link they can able for take we somewhere, because we even get door for say we dey encourage investors them. You go come, you say okay, me I go decide for build the resort, I go take care of them, but this na my percentage and all on I go give at the end of the day. So we can welcome them thing then day, because all that in a part of development, and for make we push the country again go before.
You mentioned say we are open both for partnership and donation. How person go able reach Dakva Foundation for either partnership or donation?
Well, we get we head office within a 9 main bar street na Freetown na Brookfields, or you can call on 076364966. If you reach me on that number there, or you can check now with Facebook page, just type Dakva Charity Foundation. You can see all we ways and contact numbers and how you go able for get we as a foundation for let yourself able for liaise with we and make this dream come true.
Well, that's the executive director for Dakva Charity Foundation, Mariatu Sidi Kamara, been talking that interview day with Musa S. Kamara, said and they ask people for support them projects for help the people wait up na Port Loco.
7:38 and the time for most studio clock, and we continue with the program Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We continue for look at more issues them inside the program this morning, and now they look at the criminal libel law, where according to media practitioner them now one pandit law them where don't they unbook them work, especially where it camper freedom of expression. For sake this don't make plenty different media people them may decide for come together and see how they go able for advocate to government for make them go pull this law na the country law book them. One party organization there na the Media Reform Coordinating Group MRCG, outside the chairman Dr. Francis Soa say then glad for the step them where government don't they take for review the criminal libel law. We make a call on government for ensure say then replace part 5 of the criminal libel law with the civil libel law. Dr. Francis Soa talk more about this to reporter Cherno Jallo.
Okay, when they want make law na Salone, they always want forget let the public know say that kind of law they come. So basically, they go and shop what they call the government bookshop. They don't make the draft bill. Then they go put another shop there for let all man know say it don't. The user can go take them and begin the reader. So if you say get a member of parliament, for example, if you not agree or you not like some side by the law, you go begin tell you MP them. In other words, simply put, then they make these documents are public. So all man know say. Then go come with parliament, therefore can begin talk about this kind of law. You know, these are the gazette, the book they put up for show say the Sierra Leone gazette.
Okay. So now they don't gazette this lawyer. What does this mean to the media? Okay,
so simply the bill insert then call them the Public Order Act 2019. And it say that law they now for repeal defamatory and seditious libel. Now what it mean to the media? This law, for a lot of people don't understand them. Now law where journalists write something where the person not like, then they go they hold them, they arrest them, they go lock and assess. Now we know they say journalists will write something bad, they're not for take action against them. But the law, when the defamation law, when they can go hold them under, that defamation law, now a civil law, then call a law of thought, not a criminal law. So if I write something bad for Mr. Jallo, with defamation simply means say, I don't write something, we don't bring you can don't. Mr. Jallo can go court under a civil law, they can go IMC. So all over the world, progressive democracy then, don't pull a law they come up because you deploy the people in profession, you deploy in trade. Even Sierra Leone as a country, go do himself good if the police lawyers will come out.
No one concern to come up from member of parliament, then especially the leader of government business and that they not get something for replace this lawyer. So you as media practitioner, we know what in this mean. If they make a recommendation, what will be a recommendation?
Where something bad, we need to talk about replacer. Mr. Jallo take TRC after the war. They produce a whole report, TRC. A day inside TRC report say criminal and seditious libel law not a good law for any progressive democracy. The TRC report say una pull and come on. The TRC report also replacement not to issue because the 1965 Public Order Act number 46 of 1965. What do they talk about? So not to one get this alone. We get Act number 32 of 1961. That law, in short title, they call it defamation ordinance. In deal with the civil libel law. So to go to talk about replacement. Already, we get a civil libel law, or we get a law where they deal with civil libel issues there. Apart from that one day, we get the Independent Media Commission, whether a body where Parliament set up, except for regulate the media and other matters connected therewith. Apart from that day, we get Sierra Leone, the Media Code of Practice. When a novelty among many other countries, I don't go Ghana. I show them a media code of practice. They're surprised. They're not getting a Ghana. Liberia, they're not getting a Liberia, not get media commission, but they repeal civil libel law.
Can I this concern only come up from Parliament now in the Gazette the law? Don't Gazette and original Parliament. If you say there is any hopefully this. This bill pass?
No, even the honorable member of parliament, the leader of government business, listen 19.1, he said, now concern erased, we tell taking to 19.1, some part reply there, they address in concern. And even on a radio, he say, one of the things they want to do, they want to strengthen the IMC. Correct. That part where it talks so, now part of the repeal package. So the repeal, not a one-off something, a package. But the first thing for do, for pull the law, come out, batter. We don't pull her now. We left her so empty because already things are evident now.
Okay, now some critics go to watch and this way say now this law so they go to journalism and talk bad about people, they write bad about people. What about them pull the law, then make them?
So you don't see that I mean now. That even tell you say the law is of no essence. So even what the law did, so which means our efforts should be there. No, I get your point that people they say that even what the law they do bad. Yeah. So that is telling you that law is not a solution to unprofessional practice. So the solution to unprofessional practice, one, now for go towards self-regulation. One of these will make another score, fine mark and press freedom. Now the law. Not for use more. The mere fact you continue to forget them, it is unbogging you rank.
So if you say this is unbogging the work of journalism and content.
You say sit on there, so that's what I put more power. You say sit on there. And that besides the big question of investment. So this not unblock investment, but more importantly, even the growth of the media, you don't unblock them. That's the point.
So now follow up public interview, what's benefits if you say they publish
Boku, I don't challenge people in the recent article. If you put criminal libel law, would they get more professional media than what's in it now? Women now would they begin to practice the self-regulation? People go watch, pay, call the company, but nobody said level we put it not correct. So it improve the landscape. Journalistic practice they go up. People will be more responsible.
All right, that's now Dr. Francis Soa and Ina, the chairman for the Media Reform Coordinating Group, where inside our interview they talk to Cherno Jallo for Seka, the criminal libel law, where according to media practitioner them, now one party law them where they unbog their work. This make different media group them, including MRCGD's BNTM, being come together for advocates to government for Fenway how them for pull part 5 of the criminal libel law and replace them with civil libel law.
The program is still listening to now Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. As we told you now the program this morning, we can look at the Development Cooperation Framework, where government they develop now for ensure say they effectively monitor civil society and NGO them work for guide them for be effective pan service delivery. As before now, Salone not ever gets comprehensive framework we go guide the civil society and NGO them work so that they go able for do waiting and can go take money from donor people and for say then they do and say for give strength to the relationship between the civil society, the NGOs them and serve the government pan their work. Well, for can help we look at this document this morning. I want for welcome na the studio Eric Masale, we na the National NGO Coordinator na the Ministry of Planning and Economic Development. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning, good morning, listeners.
And we also get at the studio this morning Alphonsus B.M. Bani, they work for the Human Rights Defenders, but this Defenders Network. But this morning they also for represent encompassing NGO and civil society organizations them under the Development Cooperation Working Group framework. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning, listeners.
I can start for talk to Eric, we come out at the ministry as na then they in charge for work with the other body them for ensure say this particular document has to come into existence. As na inside May 2018, they may begin discussion with different civil society organizations, them, line ministry departments and agency, and then partner them for let them go ensure say they get this document together. And inside December 2018, cabinet been agreed for the thing them we wanna be done put na the draft document. So before we can get further information about first, let me just get additional information but waiting really be ignite for let this new administration take up say Salone forget a document where then go they work with for guide the civil society and NGOs them.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. Well, this all starts in 2015. We beget the NGO policy. We basically regulate the operations of non-governmental organizations. But from 2015 moving forward, we experience some issues, emerging issues, and we call them, where we be considered very, very important, where we decide to say there is every need for us for consult with the NGOs, them, with development partners, them, look at these emerging issues and see how we can incorporate them into a new framework where we develop as a ministry. So we do a series of consultations with NGOs, with CSOs, with stakeholders at the districts and the areas where they implement them programs, and of course with parliament, development partners, and the sector ministries where directly they operate with NGOs. Finally, we decide on what thing we for put into the document. We get all these views them, we consolidate the views them, and then we incorporate them into the document. We changed the name to Development Cooperation Framework because before 2018, we get two documents and now we'll be the operator. To get the NGO policy, we get the aid policy. We basically like the same goal because they talk about aid coordination and of course resource mobilization. So as a ministry, we decide so well, since the two documents them, they speak the same language, there is every need for see how we can able for collapse all two. So we decided so for bring the two documents together and call it the Development Cooperation Framework, but with the same content. In December, we submit it to Parliament. In the first place, in November, after a series of consultations, we submit it to Parliament. And then in December, because Parliament will be able to do some vetting, some reviews, and of course make their own input. And finally, in December, they approve them. We'll show to the public, say this and the document where NGOs and they operate with moving forward.
Before we merge then two documents, they are way according to you, they exist, but now towards the same goal. we make una decide to law bring them come together. But this particular document, it gets certain set of people them way it cover. When then they work with these documents, when are the NGOs and the civil society, how una be involved them in the process before una take that decision for merge the two documents then?
Yeah, well, as I rightly tell you, the document, the development of the document be very, very consultative. Yeah, and let me establish this platform. The development cooperation framework basically they talk about strengthening a mutual accountability and partnership between us, government, and we NGOs them, yeah, with the development partners. We know say CSOs that we get three groups of CSOs. We get the CBOs, community-based organizations. We get the NGOs that we directly they involved in service delivery, and then we get the CSOs them that banning them, where basically then they advocate and of course serve as pressure group to government. So then three groups in there. Where we ready for develop the document, we do a nationwide consultation at regional and at district levels. We start with Freetown. We na Stadium Hostel na they will meet. The hall na Stadium Hostel na they will meet. We get all spheres of life na that workshop there. We get the NGOs, we get the CSOs, the Safar Abdullahs, they all be there. We get the MDAs, of course, the line ministries that they directly operate with. We get the local councils, we get the parliamentarians, everybody be consulted. And then from that point they will move to the other regions. We go to north, we go to south, we go to east and discuss with them. Basically what we do, we just highlight the areas them we consider very, very important, relevant for being incorporated into the document. We highlight them and bring them to them. We tell them these are the issues them we government they want for address and we want to views them. We send them to them, we go into groups, we discuss them, and we get a plenary, we look at them, we validate the views them, consolidate and validate the views them, and go to the other district. At the end of the day, we call them all back to a meeting, because representatives them, we can look at these areas them, these issues them, and agree on waiting for putting at the document. So it'll be very, very consultative.
You talk about strengthening accountability and self-partnership between them body with government as well and government. So is it that the documents will be the previously waiting been did not be enough for accountability and government relationship?
The document be loose, it not be too strong. Document not be too strong. Like one, we talk about monitoring of NGO operations. There was no side in the document, no clause in the document to talk about monitoring and evaluation. Will be very, very key. Because if NGOs and they implement programs, then government for ensure say the funds meet the target beneficiaries and also work within the specifications where the sectors and the set. And not be done at the document. You talk about even the registration requirement, talking about tracking and funds, aligning them programs with government. And not be done at the document.
Well, now that's made the name NGO, government of involved non-governmental organization.
Yeah, well, interestingly, the NGOs and they complement government. And the money they receive now on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone. Lord, make it very, very clear. NGO, where would they go for international forums them? Where then they say they don't give Salone money, they say they don't give human rights defenders money, they don't give Society for Democratic Initiative money, or they don't give campaign for good governance, no? Then they say they don't give government of Sierra Leone this certain amount of money. And for the people. So as government, we get the sacred responsibility for ensure say this money also meets the target beneficiaries. Basically that government is try for do. Mutual accountability. The CSOs they ask government for be accountable. So in turn back they ask them for be accountable to the people they serve. And that is basically it's complementary what they do.
Continue for the between the program in Eric Masale, National NGO Coordinator at the Ministry of Planning and Economic Development. This morning at the program, we look at the development framework where government don't put together for ensure say they work with NGO them and civil society group them where can go take money for Sika Salone people them for make sure say then implement some of them programs them for benefit the people them. Like I'm with you, Alphonsus BM Bandi from the Human Rights Defender Network, and Safe Idea this morning they represent the NGO working group on the development cooperation framework. You don't listen to waiting Mr. Masale from the Ministry of Planning don't talk this morning. Then decide for March the two documents them where the NGO policy way one of the work with earlier and bring them as one, because so many things then be they will not be the monitor una work properly. But according to una all been sidom, NGOs and civil society organization them get a dialogue session and una agree some of the things them way for the inside this new framework. As NGO and CSOs them, una satisfied with some of the things them way they inside the framework?
Basically, to be straightforward to your question, we're not really satisfied. But let's just make some records straight before we progress and proceed in the discussion. I remember watching my brother talk now, so say they may pass this thing at Parliament before the previous government, when they started this whole process from 2015. Now been the NGO policy they may go na Parliament, not to DCF. At that time in 2017, then at December, we all be known at this country. Now be the period and the way the previous Parliament and the previous government, a lot of documents, a lot of bills, a lot of policies, they may just go past them quickly before the following year, when I've been 2018, when the witness elections. And one of them policy documents, they be passed and approved in secret or urgently in the Parliament, now be the NGO policy. Now that make in January or February in 2018, we've been come out with a very strong press statement condemning the NGO policy. Because they don't pass them, automatically the NGO policy at that time, if it come into effect January 2018. So like by law, the previous Parliament under the previous government, we already passed the NGO policy, where if it become effective January 1st, 2018. And we come out heavily and condemn that one day. And there are a lot of issues that made inside that NGO policy would not be correct, would be things should not be appropriate. And at that time, even before they passed that policy, the government, together with NGO, been bringing experts there from abroad, from other countries, for can help with design this NGO policy. What would they against on the NGO policy when they don't go past the Parliament at that time? Now the process and the content. We agree with what brother talk now, say, yes, it has been participatory approach, then consultation, then bring in NGOs or whatever. Fine. What we'll see, then bring it together for can discuss, make them get to your own view. But all the issues that we'll put together for make it go reflect inside the NGO policy, none of them, not ever is inside the NGO policy. So in other words, government be use NGOs or civil society for just can showcase that they don't consult with NGOs and CSOs. In actual fact, the content of the final document it not reflect with input, it not reflect with contributions, it not reflect none of the international experts their views and suggestions what they make to the government by then.
So now we've been seeing the documents at the end of the day.
Now a complete different thing. We'll go discuss as we move, as we progress. As he said, what he said. Then the other two can now, when elections are done, we get this new government. Then that time this new government, because previously in the NGO policy, this government we can the SLPB government can sit down and say, okay, let them put together the NGO policy and with the development partners, the development partners. Because the development partners get their own policy, they get their own way they do things. We as NGO CSOs, who get our own operational mandate. So what this government do, then take the NGO policy, then take the approach they want to take with the development partners and put that together and refer now to us one document what they call the Development Cooperation Framework. And this Development Cooperation Framework only receive a cabinet approval, will not reach Parliament yet. So in actual fact, if they want to use the Development Cooperation Framework, we'll just receive cabinet approval and implement them. It's against the law because it not even go through Parliament. This na excessive use of power the government want to take in the disguise that because the NGO policy we don't go through Parliament, we don't approved by Parliament secretly at that time, then the one user now for say it don't become effective. And that's not correct.
One main thing where Mr. Masale been talked about earlier, the two main documents and they work towards one common goal. So where Moped don't sit down, look at the two document them, then decide saying that the same things then they inside the two document them, and one goal them both they try for achieve. Make them decide for merge the two document them and take an a cabinet. You agree with that particular explanation there?
No. I don't think so. I agree because NGOs they are working right down there. NGOs CSO they work down. The donor partners, the development partners like DFID, like EU, no they go work down yonder. Now NGOs and CSOs and they work down there. So we get two different approach. They count money for give to government and for give to CSOs. Now CSOs and NGOs they operate down there. Not to them they go operate down.
So where government?
So they are two distinctive group. What is it? So we they play complementary role to government. With the camp, Usa government not able reach, and Usa government not able go, we go there,
So
and we raise the issues. And the donor partners, they can't forgive sometimes and say, okay, would you give this money to government? Government want to do this program. Then it's okay. We don't give all to government now. We don't get this money. We don't give NGOs where they also complement the efforts of government and CSO them for do another activity, for even for they become as pressure groups to government. So then disaggregate the resources when they support to the people.
Before they take this commercial break, before then they merge the two documents and then bring under the civil society and NGOs the way they use them together. Government bring one together first.
That's now the other thing again. They bring it together, but even with information back, we can go again and not even reflect into the DCF.
All right, continue for the between the studio. We'll come back to Alphonsus B. N. Bani. We they come back to the program Good Morning Salone. They continue. We just take this short commercial break.
Salone Commercial Bank don't come with new banking products them for make life easy. With Million Online Bank and Million Mobile app, you can able for use Salone Link money transfer for send money to anybody like you not get bank account. Transfer or receive money na the same bank or any other bank. Transfer money to person or office like you not get the account number. Buy Ed-Salite, pay other bill them, and now get advanced salary. You don't need for worry again but almost money then you earn. Because you can able for pay for things the way you buy in a supermarket and other shop them with the quick response code payment. Yagbadon done for we boss man them. With Beyond Online Direct, you can upload salary, pay all you supplier them, sell forex to Salone Commercial Bank, and watch your account anytime. If you need the app, download them from Google Play Store or any Apple Store, or go to Salone Commercial Bank website www.slcb.com. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, delivering value.
We continue with the program Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Now the studio this morning we get two studio guests them, Alfonso BM Bindi, where they represent the NGO working group on the Development Cooperation Framework, and Eric Masale in the National NGO Coordinator from the Ministry of Planning and Economic Development. Now the program they look at the new Development Cooperation Framework where MOPE don't put together for ensure say they monitor the way how NGO and CSOs them they work and implement them programs them, especially with copper where they can go take from donor them for the people of Sierra Leone. I'll come back to you, Mr. Masale. We'll listen to Mr. Bindi in your argument. First, the issue where it make now that una engage them consultation been there during the initial stage before una merge the two documents them. But one thing we surprise them as NGO or CSOs now that most of them ideas we una been discussed with them, they not end up for SIAM na the Development Cooperation Framework. Waiting really be happen where some of them submission then be absent.
Well, thank you very much. A rather unfortunate to me because they say then views not be reflective in the final document we come out. I wish I would come with the report on the consultations and of course the document we cabinet approve who they use. What we do now this, like I previously explained, we do the consultations. We consolidate the views of all the sectors, the stakeholders who consult. We come back. We look at these views, them consolidated, and call them to a validation session. We call them to a validation session. We show them, say, these are the views. You understand? These are the score points for all these views. And at this time, we consider, say, the people they want, you understand? Interestingly, most of the people then we actually, you understand, they raise concerns, you understand? Most of the people they actually raise concerns on this document, you understand, are not covered by the document. That make that clear.
That mean?
They are not there. DCF, you understand, the NGO side, they talk about NGOs they will engage in service delivery. We get some organizations there, you understand, we engage in advocacy, when a pressure group, you understand, in governance, you understand. We don't make that known to them on several occasions. Even like I talk, we'll get the new minister, Mrs. Nabila Tunis, by then, you understand. Engage them. We call them to a meeting, we tell them, say, okay, since we don't get the NGOs inside, you understand, the NGOs inside 1, 2 areas when you get problem, we talk with the address. And so one of the CSOs then, what is the problem? They explain. Then Nabila say, he say, well, when I go back, when I put her, you understand, in black and white, let me document it. The law can discuss her. Would they be in them for over 3 weeks to 1 month? They not ever get back to you. They not ever get back to you. You understand? Eh? So at the end of the day, Nabila just call a plenary, call people them to a meeting, and we can do the presentation. We'll do a presentation on the document and tell them, say, this is what is going to cabinet. And let's just clear one side when we brother talk about parliament. The NGO policy not ever go parliament for enactment, because if they be enacted, they don't become a law. It's still a policy. Now cabinet is stop. You understand? What do we do now for engage parliament for getting input? We not can go there for enactment.
Where you talk to most civil society activists them or people that we own NGO organization them, talking to them about this development cooperation framework where governments don't put together. One thing we then go tell you now that this particular framework they muzzle then job them as CSOs or NGO them, especially if they want to take a stance we get for do with accountability, governance issues, or as a way for let them go serve as watchdog to the government. So in other words, government want for use this cooperation framework for muzzle them, then work them. How to this be?
It's not possible. It's not possible. Instead, what thing government is trying to do now for create an enabling environment for NGOs and for operate. That is what government is doing. If you look at the document, there is no side in this document we talk about limiting the space for NGOs. There is no side. All we try to talk about now NGOs for aligning programs with government, NGOs for ensure that there is effective service delivery and accountability at all levels. There is no side. We get organizations that were in CSO activities like Campaign for Good Governance. They are working with us fine. We will not get absolutely any problem with them. You understand?
You talk about effective service delivery when one major thing where government say they want to see. But take me through the major thing them inside there, how governments want to see this work from the NGOs then.
Well, the major thing that we inside the document, one, under registration, are the signing of the service level agreement. Okay. The service level agreement basically they talk about harmonization and alignment of programs with the national development priorities. You understand? We establish the fact, NGOs then they complement government. Government don't get a path, you understand, where they use for the next 5 years. These are the priorities of government. Basically, what do they ask? Since when they complement when they come for help you understand, for fill the gaps, you understand, the existing gaps, you understand, because government by itself not going to meet all the indicators in the national development plan. We rely on the donors. We rely on the NGOs, you understand, for saying they can help we. So that's what government is asking. Let us look at this plan and see how we can come in. So collectively, we will meet the aspirations at the end of the 5 years. That is what government is, and that is what was lacking. Because before now, everybody just do a own. NGOs they do their own in isolation. Government they do a own. You understand? At the end of the day, government is actually able to pinpoint the impact.
So coordination not be
there. So coordination not be there, and that is what government is asking for. That there is need for effective coordination. For my assume office, then I be my first mandate, my first responsibility. I will say okay, activate coordination at all levels. We've done it at sectoral level. Now all the sectors on a monthly basis they meet with the NGOs. Them at district level, we are currently recruiting planning officers. We're going for chair the district coordination meetings. At national level, we minister. You understand, Dr. Francis Kakai. They meet with NGOs on a quarterly basis. We don't get one by end of this month to first week December. We'll get another one. You understand? These are the coordinations we talk about.
So at the end of the day, now key measures them governments don't put in place for monitoring, because if we want for coordinate for ensure say accountability day, monitoring stand strong. Those measures then they
so when once NGOs they don't sign the service level agreement, the service level agreement basically talk about you discussing your activities with the sector ministries. Because once you discuss with the sector ministries, they go over guide you on the priority areas of that sector as enshrined in the national development plan. They go also able to tell you the areas that were well served and areas were underserved. You understand? Because they see so many duplications who go na the provinces, you understand? Now government is saying if we don't get some side, we will see how these limited resources how we can equitably distribute them. So the sector ministry will be able to tell you that they also. And also the issue of funding. Government is asking that we use majority of the money for service delivery.
From what you don't explain, it seems as if independently NGO they not able to work for themselves. First then go to a ministry for waiting they want for implement.
That is how it should be. You go any side.
That is how it will be NGO where it go for the implement directly from government.
It not implement directly from government.
But you said they go on the line ministry
it implement with government. You understand? Because they don't receive this money, then come they say they help the people of Sierra Leone. Government gets a mandate. They don't give government like President Bio in government. They don't get a 5 years mandate, right? That mandate there, you understand, now for say able coordinate, mobilize resources for meet the aspirations them, you understand, as enshrined in a manifesto. Yeah. So NGOs then, since they complement what the government do, government is asking them, come together, let us come together and see how we can push this development go before.
Most of the NGO they are so, Mr. Masali, they're not just they take up on their own and start for implement them programs them. Most of them programs there, and then can put together in a form of proposal and send them to donor them before then give them funding. Now, if we now want to monitor them, anyway, they with this development cooperation framework talk about monitoring the kind of proposal where the NGO then they send to the international donor them.
Yeah, well, we don't monitor the proposal where they send. What to basically what they do like this. One, forget them align the programs, you understand the concept. And then secondly, doing the project design for say they involve the stakeholders, the areas where they implement the programs, you understand. And that is why the emphasis now is on needs assessment. We don't want to see white elephants them, yeah. Where you go to a community, who say NGOs that they implement them programs, you understand. You see interventions who don't meet the needs of the people, and there is no sense of ownership and sustainability. So now government is asking them to go to these people, sit with them, and design the proposal. If you want for, like for instance, if you want for engage in health issues, you don't go to the areas where you want for implement. You ask them,
so
what are health problems?
Design the proposal with them.
So they design with the community people. They meet the people and they know what they desires, their needs, you understand, and come develop them in line with that. You understand. After the proposal, the proposal been developed, you understand, and they don't seek the funding. Now then our government they ask them, say, well, go to the sector now. Tell the sector that this is what you've got funding for and you want for implementation.
But during the preparation period, you said they go meet with the people them. And I then go for submit them proposals them to the donors them. That time when they don't submit this proposal to the donor, already waiting they want see the 9 then go don't submit. So when they come back to government, how did to go match? Where they already don't submit for funding.
Yeah, because before they go submit, they already know the priorities of government. But
we're not going for review before then they submit.
No, we're not going for review. But
so
what would they say? What would they say is this: when once you don't get, for instance, if EU want for fund a project, a health project, you understand, then they call for proposals, expression of interest. Yeah, when they call for proposals, now your responsibility as the NGO, based on within the national development plan, say you understand, for when you proposal in line with that. Because you know, at the end of the day,
so
you
the proposal where then go they send if they in line with waiting the national development plan,
the alignments and the alignments and the alignments.
So if they NGO they are not they work around the issues, then they.
My sister, trust me.
Lord, if the NGO then work not call say the issues that were inside the national development plan and they work towards. So by force say they for involve
not by force, but all waiting the NGOs them. The NGOs that will engage in service delivery, all waiting them for be seen doing, you understand, they in the national development plan. I challenge them at one of the meetings. I
ask you the question, yes. Say
in an event,
if them work not call for waiting they inside the national development plan, how realistic then go able for implement programs them way not to in them work call for?
No, they implement. That is why we say we engage the sector. You get some funding where directly you understand not aligned with national development plan, yeah. But this government gets so many priorities. But what the government can do now for reprioritize these priorities because government by itself not going for meet all.
So in other words, government they try for say all NGO them for work around issues them inside the national development plan.
Yes, would they encourage them
for
work within because they were also part of the development of national development plan. We look at the interventions. We look at the development plan. You don't know them. Don't know they give them money. You understand? We consult them for no way to. Actually, now almost all donors they talk about this meeting the SDGs. You understand? Right. Now in line with that, all NGOs they operate. So basically, now that we don't agree with donors them at that level, we are asking the NGOs for how them back able for aligning programs with national development plan. These are the priorities of government.
All right, continue for the program. Eric Masali, National NGO Coordinator from the Ministry of Planning and Economic Development. We take this short commercial break. We'll come back. We come talk to Alfonso BM Bindi. Where in there this. Alfonso's BM Bindi. In there this morning, they represent the NGO working group on the Development Cooperation Framework. Quickly, let's listen to this commercial break.
Better don't come. Now Union Trust Bank again. Union Salone Banco. Union Trust Bank get plenty product and service there for you. You must get what you want to go better you. Let me savings account, ide. Current account, ide. Fixed deposit account, ide. Credit facility, ide. All for you. Me and you. Me and you. Union Trust Bank, na Salone for me and you. Kids future savings account, ide. School fee savings account, ide. Pay advance salary scheme, ide. We branch and they all up at na Salone. Bokono kenema, we ide. Kabala mabogo kakambia, we ide. Jala Freetown Lone Star, we ide. And my 91. Me and you. Union Trust Bank. Me and you. Union Trust Bank. Union Trust Bank, na Salone for me and you. Union Salone Banco. Union Trust Banco.
Union Trust Bank, empowering Sierra Leonean businesses.
The program is still listening to now. Good Morning Salone. They come to you from the Society for Radio Democrats 98.1 FM. We continue to look at more issues in the program. The leader and chairman for the National Grand Coalition NGC, Dr. Dennis Bright, don't say research we then do this BNTM in different parts in Afriton. Show say from March 2018 to October this year, the price for one bag rice and other thing for it go up as Mark 1. He talk this to journalists them where they talk about this reports where they don't pull na do where the National Grand Coalition been do. Usai a look inside the price them of different thing them for it in the country. Chair Nojalo gets more on this and go reports.
The National Grand Coalition now one pan the political party them we been contest by the 2018 March general election. This party after the 2018 general election don't the question plenty government decision them where government can make, especially the one them we know in the interest of the public. Now this make Wednesday, November 6th this year. The National Grand Coalition been call journalists them will come out na different media houses them at the head office. What I go tell them about the recent report where the National Grand Coalition don't pull na do this BNTM. With this according to the leader and chairman for the National Grand Coalition, Dr. Dennis Bright say, according to the research we then do, na different side them na Freetown. Show say from March inside 2018 to October 2019. The price for one bag rice and other thing them for it don't go up na the country, bad one.
The NGC been the study just the rise in prices of food related items only since 2018, and our can't tell now what we discover. In March 2018, the price of a bag of rice now been 235,000 leones. By August 2019, this year, we will buy a bag of rice 280,000 leones. Today, 310,000 leones. If you compare the price in March 2018 of a bag of rice and today, now 32% increase. Now it don't happen. Per mine, 2018 will be 120,000 leones per gallon. It stayed 170,000 in September, but it jumped to 180,000 right in October. Per gallon, that's now 50% increase.
In continue say, the reason why I make them party decide for do this report and because they want to serve one panel mandate when I for do constructive criticism as opposition party so that government go do the right thing what they supposed for do when I for say then serve the interest of the citizen them na the country.
Since that election day, NGC done the work as an opposition na Salone. And with the work as an opposition, we will apply our own style of opposition, what we call constructive opposition. What does that mean? It means say for them side them where governments they work, where we feel say waiting them do or the policies them, where they pursue, they in the interest of the people of Salone, good for the people of Salone, we can support them. But for the areas then where we feel say waiting that they do or the way they do them, not in the interest of Salone, we can oppose them.
Dr. Dennis Bright carry on say because of the too much corruption and bad governance in the country, don't make 3 out of 5 people in Salone they live below the poverty line.
Out of every 5 Sierra Leoneans today, then they live below the poverty line. 3 out of 5. And this
now the result of so many years where things don't deploy in this country, mainly due to mismanagement, corruption, and bad governance. That big call for change, where we hear the people they make in the 2018 election, not to just follow government change, but then we want a change from the hardship where they be done the beer for so long.
Dr. Dennis Bright call on government for ensuring them put plenty measures in place we go address the bad economy where the country on the face presently.
So when the price of herring don't increase by 433%, Pamain by 50%, Yabas by 300% for one, Plasas by 233%, Kanda by 157%, Magi by 100%, Kukri by 67%, Lafidi by 100%. We believe na NGCC the time for long explanation and debate about who that caused this and who that not cause them. That time they done. We believe the focus of government now for find some emergency solution for alleviate, for lessen the burden, the suffering of the men, women, and children in our country.
Dr. Dennis Bright end up say